The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot.
I want winning, folks. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. Of course, you should be subscribing to this page, Nimble W Numbers. You should also like this video because it's going to be awesome. Scotty, how you doing, buddy? You're coming off another win.
I'm doing great. I'm not going to lie. I racked up over 150 points again against you last week in the Clash. 6-3. I was showing people in the intro. Doubled up on you this year. 6-3 overall, and then 2-1 in the years. So I'm seeing a pattern. But when are you going to break free of my double up? I want thoughts and prayers. What do you think?
This week is going to be not just a win, but a convincing and resounding beatdown, because I owe you a couple. I owe you a couple beatdowns. It's been a couple weeks since I gave you your last beatdown. I had my worst week of the season last week. You happened to put in my guy Sam Howell last week, along with Taysom Hill and the Browns defense.
I did.
Jacobs was nice. I like the Jacobs play. I was not on Jacobs like you were, so props to you on that one.
Thank you.
Browns defense was a smart cash play, and it paid off. The chalk hit. You hit that one. So, yeah, round of applause. You had a solid lineup. My lineup was all snowflakes and CD Lamb all by himself with the only flame on my side of the column. It's not ideal. For a cash lineup, I thought I was going to be playing it safe, and everybody that I played just did nothing.
Yeah, it was safe for me. I was grateful for your lineup, but not safe for work for you. This week will be better. We'll get into that. As always, if you don't follow Bo and myself, I'm about to share our screen here and get you guys to go and follow Bo_McBigTime. I can find him here somewhere on the tweeters. That's me. Let's get to my profile. Oh, yeah, here we go. We're Chalk Blocked, and then Bo_McBigTime. Go follow him. Go follow Hot Box Batch. From there, go to bigtimeflavor.co and get yourself a little holiday treat. Your smoke should be stacked, right? So yeah, it's delicious stuff. So, and follow us. Follow us over at Chalk Blocked. We'll see if we got any more followers. Nah, still the same as last week, but that's fine. We'll get more. We're not giving up. Follow me, Nimble W Numbers. I got a banger going right now. If you don't know, there's us. This went viral earlier today. Adam Schefter revealed that our guy Tommy DeVito, Danny DeVito's long lost son, right?
I met Tommy DeVito.
You shook his hand and you said, "Hey, how's the fucking meatloaf over at Mom's?" And so I retweeted Adam Schefter when Tommy DeVito invites the O-line over for dinner.
The meatloaf.
And yeah, it's got some views. It's got 3.3 million views, 19K likes. So thank you, Tommy DeVito and his mom. Shout out. And Bo for meeting her.
It's the chicken cutlets for me, man. Yeah. Like I don't need somebody to make my bed for me, but it would be nice. It would honestly be a nice treat. Like, as somebody who got kicked out of my house at 17 years old, I'm kind of jealous of him.
Right.
It seems nice. Like, he's onto something, because not only is he making $700,000 this year, he's paying taxes on that because he lives in the state of New Jersey. He lives in Jersey, so he's going to get taxed on jurisdiction based on where he plays. And New Jersey, high taxes. And the problem is he doesn't have any other bills to worry about. Like, so he's making Silicon Valley money for, pay your taxes, Tommy, and then have Mom make you some more chicken cutlets and some meatballs and some great pasta. I'm sure she throws down in the kitchen. She takes care of all your needs. He's still a young man. That people are acting like this is out of the ordinary for an Italian, a non-Italian man. it's still pretty normal. What is he, 22, 23 years old?
Yeah, 25
Who
for me,
cares?
folks. Sorry. No.
Who cares if he lives with his parents?
Yeah.
It seems pretty reasonable that he would, because I mean Brock Purdy's still on his rookie contract as a 7th round pick, and he's rooming with a teammate because of where he lived being so expensive. So I don't blame him one bit. I would stay there as long as they would have me. Maybe just make your own damn bed in the future, so you start to progress into adulthood. Because once you hit 26, they're not going to be able to have you on their insurance anymore,
Bingo.
or the cell phone plan. Yeah. So
I love that 26 is the new adult. Congrats. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
whatever you need to do, Tommy, do it. But I
Right.
met him. He's a really nice guy, really
he
down
is.
to earth, which is good, because that was the one guy at the Shrine Bowl that was cracking all the jokes. Like his sense of humor was outstanding. And so I'm sure he sees all the Danny DeVito jokes and all the man, we never thought we'd miss Daniel Jones jokes. But at the end of the day, the dude's a professional quarterback now.
Yeah.
And no matter how mediocre or whatever he was at Illinois, he's the quarterback of the New York Giants.
Yeah. And we'll get to that game at the very end. That's a long tease. But there's only only 9 games today, or 10 games. What are we at?
That's
10. 3, 10. Yeah, it's 10. Okay, only 10. Yeah, it's a small slate. It's a mini slate.
Slate.
Let's start with this very sexy breakdown of these low total. Yeah, we got 3 low totals, 38.5, 39, 40.5 to kind of get us started. Then we'll get into some juicier matchups before we dip into some duds. But this game, the highest owned player or rostered, I guess, team in this situation is the defense, and it's Cleveland at 3K. Lamar lit them up last time. I was all in on Cleveland the last time they played them, and it was in Cleveland. Now it's in Baltimore. How do you kind of see this game going? I see it going low on both sides, but I don't know if I want to own the Browns D. That didn't work out great last time.
Well, and that was with 2 starting offensive linemen out that game for Baltimore. And they still won 28-3. A lot of it was giving the short field, because Dorian Thompson-Robinson started that game for the Browns and he threw 3 picks. So the Ravens were in a lot of scoring opportunities right off the bat, and it kind of put the Browns defense behind the field. Yeah, short field. The field position battle was won very early on by Baltimore's defense. I think that Baltimore's defense is the better leverage play here in the same game, because I think this game is easily an under. I don't think the Ravens score 28 on them again. I also don't think that the Browns are held to 3, even though the Ravens right now, they're my team for High Point Network, courtesy of Des Bryant and Luke Sawhook. Shout out to Des, my friend Des Bryant, throwing up the X, repping the 88s and the Cowboys fans around the world. I'm the Ravens correspondent for High Point Sports, and I think the Ravens defense is one of the best defenses to roster in DFS this week, because A, they're leveraged, and B, they're the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. And guess what? We get points for when they limit the other team to scoring fewer.
Yeah. And Deshaun Watson back one game looked good against Arizona. Everyone's looked great against Arizona. So that's,
exactly.
Baltimore is defense. I know that Marlon Humphreys
going from the 26th ranked defense to the 1st ranked defense is going to be a rude awakening for Deshaun and his merry band of receivers, which honestly has been pretty good. Amari Cooper is still a sneaky play in this one.
I think it was 5 for 5 for 139 and a tutty last game. That the tutty was a gift, though. It bounced off like a helmet, and
but he was so wide open that if it didn't bounce off that helmet, it would have been a touchdown anyway. It was a ball don't lie kind of deflection.
No, it definitely was. Okay. With that being said, I'm kind of I'm reticent to roster the wide receivers, given kind of Zay Flowers' minimal amount of targets. If I'm going to play somebody, I'm going to play Mark Andrews. I think he's kind of foolproof. At 6,900, he's expensive, but he's foolproof. He's going to get the targets, and I think this game they need him to win. And I think Njoku's a play too. I mean, I'm not going to play Njoku. I just better plays at that price, but he's it depends on Marlon Humphrey's condition too. If Marlon Humphrey's questionable tag, I was going to ask you, do you hear he's all systems go, or is that going to be impacting the Ravens secondary?
I don't think it impacts that much because honestly, Humphreys with his age getting up there is they're kind of trying to hide him behind pass rush and with the linebackers, so they run a lot of zone and it covers up Humphreys' limitations athletically. But Humphreys a savvy vet, so having him off the field in most situations is going to hurt the Ravens. But if we get into kind of a low scoring slog of a game, which I expect, I don't know if it really matters one way or the other.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's
good.
He's good. I mean, and he's not been worse than 41st. He's 42nd now. So you think he'll improve. This is halfway through the season. But he's ranked 12, 14. He's getting a little old. Yeah, he's still got that the speed, but the injuries have been wearing on him. He missed games here and there. He's been questionable throughout the season. So that's a matchup to watch in this game. I'm not going to build any stacks here from this. Let's jump to Tennessee in Tampa
Before you
Bay.
move on, though, I do want to throw a sneaky dart throw at our up and coming future superstar wide receiver. Can you guess? Rashad Bateman.
Oh, the Bateman. Tell me more.
3,200. He had 5 targets. He had some really nice catches last week. He gets open.
Yeah.
The problem is he's usually the second or third progression, but Flowers is the quick guy, and then Andrews, and then you get around to Bateman. Bateman runs more vertical routes than the other two, but he's a big play waiting to happen. He runs open a lot of times as that third read, where if Lamar is going to get rid of the ball, then he's going to get rid of it to Andrews or Flowers. But if he's scrambling, he's looking for number 7 down the field, and that's something I can see the Browns breaking. Is if they go after Lamar too aggressively, then they're going to get broken on the back end by Bateman.
Yeah, and we'll see if they have to with Smith on one side, and then
some guy named Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett on the other side,
insanely good.
Garrett's so ridiculous. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm projecting like a 10, 2013 Ravens victory. So we'll see how it goes.
17-13 Ravens.
Okay, I like it. We're in the same ballpark here.
Browns are going to cover though.
Yeah. 6.5. It's kind of a big number. Particularly how tight these defenses are. So, all right, next game. Will Levis, he's the quarterback now. DeAndre Hopkins, he's a wide receiver. Levis, more expensive than Baker Mayfield. Wow, man. Dog and Bayfield. I call him Bayfield. Well, Bayfield.
Keep your voice down
already. But both these quarterbacks are live, and Baker particularly at 5,100. What do you think about this? I've not seen a lot of Baker love, but he is viable with what Mike Evans and Cade Otton catching touchdowns now too. I mean, this game could kind of get over on this 39. What do you think?
Cade Otton doesn't score anything.
He scored 2 touchdowns 2 weeks ago. That's it. That's
Were those his only touchdowns he's ever had? Because I forgot about it already.
Right, but you have to account for him in the middle of the field too.
No, you don't. He's a blocking tight end. You account for Evans and Godwin and Rachaad White out of the backfield. They don't have to cover Cade Otton ever.
Well, that's why he gets 2 touchdowns. So that's
because if you don't cover him, Tennessee is extremely good against the tight end. And they're not good against wide receivers. So Mike Evans is live. Baker Mayfield is by far a better play than Will Levis this week.
Oh, I agree.
Because both of these defenses are pass funnels. They're great against the run. They're good in the middle of the field. They're just weaker on the outside. We saw what the Bucs gave up last week against Houston. CJ Stroud lit them up down the field for 470 and 5 touchdowns. A rookie. And that's embarrassing for Tampa. The thing with Tampa is that another crack at a rookie quarterback who's nowhere near as good as CJ Stroud. Will Levis's pocket presence is non-existent. And his first game when he threw 4 touchdown passes was against a team dead last in the league in sacks. And last week he got rushed, and that's what happened is he really came down with it. Hi, Craig. Thank you. Yeah, Craig is very old.
Craig.
Craig looks great for his age, by the way.
He's 79 years old.
He's so old, but he looks like no older than 40.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Tampa Bay and Tennessee combined, they've given up 3,000 passing yards. I mean, that one of these teams
It's halfway through the season. That's not a good number.
crazy. That's fucking insane. So you want
Yeah,
that?
we're looking at the funnel of all funnels.
The double funnel. It's a funnel.
But
It's
which of these two quarterbacks do you trust to take advantage of a higher volume of passing? I
think
would side with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I would say, and that's why Kate Otton's live.
I disagree.
Okay, I'm saying he's live. Live is he's 3K, 334. Okay,
He's not in my pool. He's not in my pool.
Fine.
If I want 8 points, then I'll play Kate Otten. But he's going to get 4 to 12. That's it.
Okay, I'll take 12. I mean, for
Chiga Conquo, on the other hand, is live $3,000 chalk. 9%, not bad actually. I think he's is a higher optimal rate than 2.4%. I would put him higher because the price point's good and the Bucks are not good against tight ends.
No, they're not. And if you don't use these fantasy points per tools, you should. So yeah, Bucks down here. They've almost 500 yards, 70 targets have been 50% out of 70, or 50 out of 70. That's a what is that? Like 69% or something like that. Nice. So yeah. But anyway, with that being said, I know we're disagreeing about the Cade on. I'd rather have Chig over Cade. I'm just saying, I think it makes for Baker. All that being said, I don't care about Cade, but I think
Rashad White, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Yeah, Rashad White by the most rostered player and the most negative leverage. I mean, that's not.
I am not saying Rashad White is leverage, or he's not even close to leverage, and he's going to be a fade in tournaments because where we don't usually care about running back chalk, we care about it when a team is as good against running backs as Tennessee is.
Yeah, we want to pass funnel this. Like I like a Baker, Hopkins,
excellent stack right there.
Like it's my blood pumping.
Some Godwin
in there too. And
another reason I like Chig is because Traylon Burks is still out.
Yeah. Do a little stack here with both those friends. And if you want to get crazy and say in the membrane, you could do a little something like that. We'll do 2% just for shits and giggles. So
I'm gonna play some Ty J Spears just to feel something too.
Just so it moves.
Yeah.
Just so it moves.
Just for the tip.
Just the tip.
Tajay tip.
It's the Tajay tip. Okay, hold on. That's Derrick Henry. Still Derrick Henry. I gotta get to one more.
Playing Derrick Henry any week.
No, he's
fine.
Yeah, he's fine. All right, that's fine. Too much scrolling. All right, let's jump to the next game. All of a sudden, Josh Dobbs is a quarterback, and he's rostered twice as much than Derek Carr. He's a little cheaper, but
you shouldn't play either one of them.
I agree with you. Either or. Justin Jefferson not back.
He's not back. Dobbs was fine running around. Yeah, I ought not consider Cade. Derek Carr is 18 points floor, 18 points ceiling. Was I right? I was right. And Josh Dobbs scored over 20 last week, but New Orleans defense is really good, like really good defense. So don't expect a big fantasy performance from Josh Dobbs. Fine season-long starter if you need him in a pinch as a streamer. I wouldn't stream him against a defense this good, but you do you. In DFS, we're looking for ceiling, and I don't think he has one this week.
Yeah. Well, what about Alvin Kamara?
Oh my goodness! Goodness!
Let me just say something.
How is he so not jockey?
Well, here's why. I'll tell you this. This is why I've noticed this. It was a usage. It was a snap percentage since Jamal Williams has come back, and it was like 13%, and it was like he lost 13%. Then it was like he lost 25%, and then he lost like 40%. Then he lost like 44% of the snaps to Jamal Williams. So I think that carved in also to the Taysom Hill experiment that they're still running.
Yeah, which is working.
Yeah, it's working. So it's a double ding. You get the Jamal back and the double ding. So,
did you see the stat that Taysom Hill has more passing fantasy points than some of these top quarterbacks? He has more rushing fantasy points the last 4 games than most running backs. He has more receiving fantasy points than most tight ends. He's just doing everything because the Saints offense without him cannot score touchdowns.
No.
They do not score any touchdowns without Taysom Hill on the field.
No. I think this week he's more of a decoy. I don't think he's going to get 3
I
touchdowns.
hope so.
But
I hope it's for the benefit of Olave and a Kamara. But I do have some leagues with Taysom in my tight end spot that I'm really enjoying these last few weeks because he's putting up points for any position, but especially in a tight end position that's so bad across the board. It really comes in handy to have a guy that does that much on the field for his team. In the fantasy realm, that's what we call it, the sweet spot.
Yeah. What do you think about TJ Hawkinson? He's only $100 cheaper than Taysom, but he's 16% more rosters coming off. He's dealing with some injuries, ribs no less.
Instant fade.
That just seems like a lot of misplaced money right there.
That seems an easy block of the chalk. All you chalk blockers out there, you know who you are. If you're going to be a chalk blocker, you want to be in this club with us. This is what you call an auto chalk block. Like if you see a guy with bruised ribs against a team that shuts down tight ends like the Saints do, and he's chalky, this is a no-brainer.
And the quarterback just got traded there like last week. That
block that chalk.
Block it. I mean, if you're gonna do it, just pay up $100 for Taysom Hill for crazy upside. But I like Juwan Johnson at 3,100. Actually, I think he's a.
Do you like that for our viewers? The chalk blockers.
I think for the chalk blockers, I would block the chalk and go to Juwan. That's just my thought on that blocking the chalk.
We have a community of people known as the chalk blockers.
We love the chalk blockers. People have like the Swifties. We have the chalk blockers. If you block some chalk, let us know. Throw it out there to us. Just let us know you block that chalk. We'll get you tweeting, make you famous, get you go viral. I want to get to you real quick. You do write for Fantasy Pros, tip of the cap. And used to write for me. We used to do writing together. There are dozens of us out here. 33
dozens.
3 dozen to be exact. 30 plus people watched the broadcast last week. Shalom. So, I just want to say, appreciate everybody out there.
Aloha.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
And mahalo. Yeah. So I appreciate all the friends doing their thing. But I will say this. Finally, we've gotten to a good game. I'm excited about this.
What a nice.
Yeah. And for the Fantasy Pros, you are all over Christian Kirk at 6K. Talk about him and what you wrote about and what you kind of see happening in this game.
So I think a lot of people are going to gravitate to Ridley here, which is showing in the projections because of the way that Charvarius Ward has struggled on the outside for San Francisco. But I think he gets the Diamador Lenore treatment, and he's a lot better. He's playing out of his mind this year. Diamador Lenore, former Oregon Duck, shout out Oregon, is playing better than his PFF grade. And Charvarius Ward is a bend but don't break corner. Like he gets beat deep because they play physical outside cover 3, and they expect their pass rush to get home. And part of the reason why the 49ers have struggled these last 3 weeks and lost 3 games in a row isn't because of their corners. It's because of their pass rush or lack thereof. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are the holders of the longest winning streak in the NFL. You know why? Because Trevor Lawrence is playing out of his goddamn mind.
Yeah,
even if his blocking is not perfect, he knows where to go with the ball. And that's one thing coming out of college that we knew Trevor Lawrence already had in his bag was his recognition at pre-snap and his recognition once the play starts of where he's supposed to go with the ball and where he can exploit matchups. And the big glaring strength in mismatch for the Jags is going to be in the slot with Christian Kirk against a pretty sketchy assortment. They run a bunch of different guys at slot and nickel corner for San Francisco just because they're trying to find something that works, and they're not able to get. Yeah, so Oliver, that's the target. That's Christian Kirk's mark this week.
Speed. You want that. You like that. You like that.
And I do think Lenore and Ward do a good enough job on the outside where Kirk is going to be the funnel and Ingram is going to be the funnel. And Trevor Lawrence is playing so well right now that I just expect this game to shoot. I'm going to take the over in this one.
Yeah.
And I do love me some Brock Purdy in this game because he's back. And guess who's back? Debo Samuel. Providing those layup throws that make Brock Purdy what he is.
4%
Brock Purdy without the ability to just dump it off on a tunnel screen and make the defense respect that tunnel screen so that he can go over the top later in the game. That's been missing. Debo Samuel's been out 3 weeks. Guess what? They've lost all those games.
Yes, they have. Yep. You sound like my podcast partner, Mike Cash Collins, who's saying those very same things on the phone today to me. He's a big
so
Debo guy. Yeah, he had us put Debo in our Al Smizzle gang lineup this week because of Higgins coming out. We also switched to Geno. But with that being said, Ridley is the cheapest out of the Ayuk, Kirk, Ridley, Debo. And so if you're going to play two of these and you're going to pick one from each team, are you going
Kirk and Debo in a heartbeat?
Okay. Yeah, Kirk and Debo.
I do like Ayuk. I will have Ayuk in some of these stacks, but my main stack is going to be Lawrence, Kirk, and Debo running back, or Purdy, Debo, Kirk run back. I'm still gonna build stacks with Ridley and with Ingram and with Kittle. I think Kittle has a good game in this one, believe it or not.
Let's get some Purdy.
And then you're big on Christian McCaffrey for some reason. It's like he's the best running back in the league or something.
I don't know. Somebody told me he was good.
He's viable this week. He's live.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm playing him against you, and I loved your reaction.
I know, and I was shocked that you threw a freaking $9,200 flex at me because I was scrolling down. I was like, oh, okay, it looks pretty paltry. Like I'm like, what is he doing here? Like, why is he playing these guys? And I get to flex, and it's $9,200 Christian McCaffrey, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker thinks he's sneaky.
I'm trying to maximize the most amount of points. I'm watching them all go to Debo, and McCaffrey just gets like 18 or something. But whatever.
I would love that because I have the Purdy Debo stack in that.
Yeah, I know you do, you son of a bitch. That's why I brought it up. We're
so much leverage. I have so much leverage on your lineup, so you better hope CMC goes off.
I know. I need him to. I mean, I've got the nuts against you though if he does. So it feels like a razor's edge. But then on the other side, I'm sucking out these low price guys. We're going to talk about a few of them in a minute. But Pickens deletes his Instagram follows from his Steelers friends.
Sounds like a wide receiver to me.
Cries. Danny Carter had a field day this week, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Cries a bunch. And then I heard our guy, Najee Harris, told him, he said, it was in the locker room. He was talking to reporters. He said, I told him in the locker room and also during the game on the field. Bro, calm your emotions. Then you'll be able to be more accessible to play later and to be effective. And Homeboy is missing it. Do you think that Deontay Johnson, who is rostered from here to Brokeback Mountain, what do you think about Deontay, my Johnson? I still like him this week. I think we were looking at no Jair Alexander, which is always a plus if you're looking
That's
to
huge.
have huge. So I'm a Deontay guy.
He's the alpha killer. That guy covers everybody.
Oh, he's mean. He's mean, and he's got.
He says nasty things to them during the game.
I mean, he got in Stephon Diggs' head so much that Stephon Diggs ran out of the tunnel with him. No, he ran out of the tunnel with him. So like they're jawing at each other so much. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like that personal.
What I love about Jair though is he backs it up on the field. That dude he's so good.
Oh, dude, he got torched a little bit by Jefferson last year in week 1, and then he came back like a maniac in week 16. So, anyway, Pickens, Deontay, yes. Are you rostering any of these 1%, 2%, 3% more? Throw them on the floor. Watson, Dobbs, Reed, no more. What do you think about this?
I like Reed.
Yeah,
I like. Jeez, man.
It's
I like
not
Deontay. Yeah. I like Deontay. I don't like him that much because 16%, I'm not going to have that much of him. Yeah. Because I think that this game is probably going to be one of those nasty under games that nobody cares about at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I put some faith into Christian Watson last week, and he put up a big goose egg, except for one catch in garbage time. Yeah. Dude is terrible. Like I knew it from the beginning. I saw an opportunity for him to have a boom game last week. It didn't happen.
Didn't even have it then.
Fool me once. Yeah, that's all it takes for me on a guy that I didn't like in the first place.
Aaron Rodgers propped that guy up so much last year. Imagine a guy dropping the ball in a bucket.
Just think about what this offense. This is the same offense,
right? Right.
plus a better tight end now. The Luke Musgrave's better than
Shout out
Robert
Luke.
Tonyan. And so we'd have the same offense plus Jaden Reed and Luke Musgrave, and they look so much worse with Jordan Love than they did with Rodgers.
So
Even
bad.
with Rodgers last year with a broken hand playing through it, he was still markedly better than Jordan
Yeah.
Love. That should
Iowa
tell you everything you need to know about Jordan Love is that
Yeah.
he ain't it.
No. Aaron Jones is it. He looked healthy last week. He looked back.
I told you that would happen.
Yeah.
I told you.
And I got worked in my home league. The guy I was starting against him, and no good. But I will run him
Aaron
back.
Jones. I love Aaron Jones. Just
He's
like
sexy.
Matthew Berry always said, feed Aaron Jones, free Aaron Jones.
Yes. Yeah, and his story too, losing his father's ashes in the end zone when he scored his third or fourth touchdown in that epic game a couple years back, right after his father passed. I mean, man, brings tears to your eyes, and also just like, brings your T levels up at the same time. You're like, that guy.
Shout out UTEP, by the way.
Yeah, for sure, sirs. All right, let's get to this next game. My friend Mike Cash Collins on the Fantasy Millionaires. I know you're an avid watcher. He called for a shellacking here of the said Houston Texans, and the end of the party for CJ Stroud this week. Maybe back to earth a little bit. What do you think about that? This kind of a brazen call. This game is kind of I don't know, stacked.
We're talking about the biggest Joe Burrow fan on the planet.
He is. He loves Burrow.
So there's a little bias built into that prediction.
I like that.
And I won't go that extreme. I do think this is a shootout game. I don't think either one of these defenses is equipped to slow the other one down. Stroud is obviously not going to go 470-5 again.
Right.
But he's going to go 303 again, which makes him plenty live this week in DFS. And potentially because of his price being 6,900, nice. Being a super nice leverage pivot off of Joe Burrow, because everybody's expecting Burrow to outplay him, just like Cash Collins is.
Yep.
And yeah, Joe Burrow he's got Jamar Chase with the back spasms. I mean, that was a nasty fall last week. From when he came down on his lower back, that looked like it hurt a lot. Higgins is out. Jamar Chase is a game time decision with the back injury. And that leaves you with Tyler Boyd and Trenton Irwin and Andre Yoshivas as the wide receivers for Joe Burrow against a defense in Houston that is giving up a lot of yards, but they're coached extremely well. And they have a guy over there named Will Anderson from Alabama who is a top 3 pick and second highest pass rush win rate in the league behind Myles Garrett. Seems pretty good.
That was my shout out to Keith Jackson. Anyway.
Whoa, Nelly.
Okay. I just love his deep. Get that guttural. Trenton Irwin. I'm playing him against you in cash. 3K. I'm not saying he's tournament viable. He did catch 2 touchdowns last year in one game. It did happen.
You're praying to the stars that happens in this one.
I hope he gets 1 touchdown. One tutty, right? The long blonde hair flowing around. That's what I hope.
Yeah, but here's the problem with Irwin playing this week is on depth charts, they are important to see roles. And the role on the Bengals, the X role, the backup is not Trenton Irwin. If Jamar Chase is out, they usually shift T. Higgins over to X. If Jamar Chase is in and T. Higgins is out, the Z replacement is Yoshivas. And if Tyler Boyd is out, the slot replacement is Trenton Irwin, but Tyler Boyd's healthy. So what you're going to see is Boyd at Z, Yoshivas at X, and Irwin in the slot. Severe Thomas is real good.
Yeah, I don't like that. All right. Well, I'm gonna secretly switch my lineup when you're not looking. No, I'm not gonna do that. That'd be wrong.
My deep shot is actually Andre Yoshivas.
Oh, I like your deep
shot.
The
rookie out of Princeton, track star. He scored more touchdowns than Trenton Irwin this year. I think he has 3.
He's 3K and he's only rostered in 0.4%. So yeah. Are you
keep your voice
building any stacks? Oh, by the way, apparently people think that Joe Mixon's going to heaven. in this game because he is rostered
He's playing great this year.
He is.
But shout out NorCal, of course.
Is this going to be a 4-touchdown game for Joe Mixon, something like that? I mean, that's how he's being rostered, though. So
I'm actually calling for the spread upset. I think Houston covers, and I'm going to go over 47. Cincinnati wins 28-24.
Okay.
So
Let's
I'm thinking Mixon might score 1 touchdown. So I want a little bit of Mixon, but I'm not going to stack him. I'm just going to kind of plug and play with him. I don't want to get overexposed to a chalky running back, but I'm definitely going to have him because the spot is nice. Like, there's a reason he's 24% because he's playing great this year. He looks really spry. He's catching a lot of passes out of the backfield. He's going to catch a lot more this week without the 2 healthy wide receivers.
What do you think about Noah Brown? I mean, you saw him in Dallas, and he
cost me a lot of money in Dallas.
Yeah, he looked really good last week, though. And there's no and here's the thing: Tank Dell is not an X receiver, right? He should be in the slot more, or maybe running out of the Z more. I don't know.
He can run X, just it's not his forte at this point in his career.
Right. So in that sense, I'm gonna have a little Tank Dell and Joe Mixon and CJ Stroud, but I like a Noah Brown. I like him a little bit. I do.
It's all right.
I'm just gonna play him against you.
I'm so jaded from last year because if you remember correctly, the Cowboys and Jaguars went to overtime last year, and I had a prop bet parlay with Dak Prescott over 267 passing yards. And I got bailed out where the Cowboys got into overtime, and I needed 2 passing yards from Dak Prescott to hit this 5-leg parlay and win $1,000. First play of overtime, Dak Prescott steps back to pass, throws an out route to Noah Brown. It bounces off of his hands, and it goes pick 6, game over. I lose everything because Noah Brown couldn't catch a 4-yard out.
Yeah, that's all true.
So Noah Brown cost me so much money last year that I am boycotting him. He scored a really long touchdown last week, and that was pretty much the gist of his entire performance. So no, I will not have a lot of Noah Brown. He's in the pool, but Tank Dell's better. And guess who I'm also going to throw in here? Swervin' Irv Smith.
Yes. He's my elevate this week.
I do times, yes.
Yeah. Just what are you going to do? They're not good against tight ends. That's good. They're not good. They're the worst. Dead last.
You should play Irv Smith in DFS because nobody's going to have him. And he scored last week. Looked really good last week.
I like you, Bo. You're a good man, despite what the people on the internet say about you. So
Irv Smith Sr. follows me on Twitter.
See?
Notre Dame legend.
Shout out. I went to see Shane Gillis yesterday, and he was talking about this big Notre Dame story that he had, and people kept yelling out "Go Irish" every time he said it. It's pretty funny. Yeah. And then finally he got tired of it. He just said, "Shut the fuck up." So that was fun. Anyway, back to this game. What do you think about Dalton Schultz though? Too, it could be a dueling banjo tight end here. You could do Irv Smith and Dalton Schultz. And get
Irv at 27 as a value. Schultz, I think, is exactly where he should be, 4,900. He's going to be in about 15% of my lineups. I do want him in the pool, but he's not a cheap option this week.
No, he's not.
But he's also not. He's performing like a top tier option lately, so I don't have a problem with playing him. Another former Cowboy.
If you wanted to do a stack in this game, that and you thought about it through the lens of Joe Mixon and Irv Smith are going to be in the middle of the field, either running the football, are going to kind of, and maybe you have Chase. Chase is so expensive too, though. But if you kind of go in this game, kind of look at the points in a different way, Joe Mixon and Irv Smith could suck out and kind of hog some of the points. And then you run it back with CJ, Tank, and Dalton. You only cost you $2,600 because Irv Smith's so cheap and Tank Dell is a number one kind of pay down wide receiver, and Dalton pay up, but you're not paying up still. So I like it because you still got thousands of dollars to build the other 5 members of your team. So I mean,
4.
Is it only 4 more?
Yeah, it's a big stack.
Oh, that's a huge stack. So you get a defense too, and a running back.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at it going, I don't know if I want to 5-way this game. I didn't pick it to be high scoring, but I think it's more concentrated than that.
Okay. All right. I'll do 1% stack. right, let's jump to the game of the week here as a
Go
glib,
Cardinals.
glib homage to the Arthur Smith and Bijan. I put him on the cover of our show today, so
Good.
shout out Bijan. Well, what do you think about this game? Taylor Heineke is bad for running backs. That's the news. That's kind of what we thought, or is it just Arthur
it's
Smith
not
is
true.
bad?
No,
Oh,
that's
it's
not true.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
Taylor
bad.
Heineke is very, very slightly better than Desmond Ridder. Is that saying much? No, it's
No.
not. The problem is Arthur Smith thinks he's smart, and he's really not. He would have never even seen this job or sniffed this job if Derrick Henry didn't exist. You look past the upbringing of Arthur Smith, and you see a guy who loves football. We love football too. But him getting propelled into this job by Derrick Henry and AJ Brown, it means that we're getting the sloppy seconds of the Mike Vrabel institution in Tennessee, where Mike Vrabel is the alpha coach,
Right.
and Arthur Smith is just the guy who wants to be Mike Vrabel.
I mean, how can he be Mike?
He wants to be Mike Vrabel so bad, except Mike Vrabel has played and won Super Bowls. He's caught touchdown passes and made sacks and forced fumbles in Super Bowls. And he's coached less talented teams to playoff wins over more talented teams. Arthur Smith has accomplished diddly shit by himself. Diddly shit.
Well, no. He single-handedly, don't you badmouth his accomplishments. Single-handedly ruined Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and he's fucking up London Drake too. How about that?
Yeah, he's accomplished so much. Trey McBride chalk, I will fade that this week. I love Trey McBride, but we're fading the chalk. We're fading the chalk.
So
block the chalk.
Too much. I gotta block that chalk. Yeah,
block that chalk.
It's so huge. Look at that.
Kyle Pitts is going to outscore Trey McBride.
He could. John Smith would probably outscore Barry on the team. That's what we've
probably.
Known. Yeah.
But we're looking at Bijan this week. We're looking at Tyler Algier, really. Tyler Algier this week is live because everybody wants Bijan to be a thing. Arthur Smith does not want Bijan to be a thing.
No. You wrote about him being a thing, though. 150 total yards. That's at least 15 points there. So,
and he's going to – I think he scores 20. But I think Algier scores 22.
Ooh,
I think Algier scores 2 tutties this week.
That's a very interesting call.
And at the same time, I think the Cardinals are going to win.
Man, you're all full of surprises. Marquise Brown, I'm fading that chalk.
Don't play Marquise this week.
That's not good. Don't do that. That's terrible. Look at the leverage on that. That's just
Kyler Murray and Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
That's your stack.
Run
it back with Bijan. Run it back with Algier. Run it back with Pitts or Jonnu. Who cares? But Arizona is a 10 times better team with Kyler Murray on the field. Like, we don't did you forget how unstoppable he was in college?
I mean,
and how unstoppable he was in a turd offense under Cliff Kingsbury. Like, he was running for his life because Kingsbury had no clue how to run an offense at that level. And it was just Kyler Murray improving to QB1 performance after QB1 performance, despite his head coach being brain dead at that level.
Yeah. Not a good
Another coach that failed upward with the lubricated ease of Matt Canada. Like,
oh my God.
Cliff Kingsbury didn't deserve a college head coaching job after what he did, losing record with Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback.
Right.
And then was hired as the head coach of an NFL franchise. That is terrible.
I think
he was terrible. Kyler Murray in this offense is going to be explosive. This is a Stefanski style offense where they're going to be running play action, bootlegs, waggles, RPOs. It's going to be fun.
Not this week in DFS though.
For Kyler, yeah. I think Kyler goes ham, and I think Michael Wilson is the guy, the benefactor.
I mean, 5,900. That's not
5%. 5% Kyler.
Yeah.
I love Kyler Murray.
What do you think about the game that's got the biggest total of the week? Detroit visiting the
It will.
Giants.
It's
Yeah.
shooting. This thing is shooting
Yeah.
fireworks.
Which QB
This might be
are
a
you
90 this might be a 90-point total.
are you pushing Geoff or Herrera?
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Yes.
You want all the pieces of this game that you can get.
Yeah.
Because honestly, for how high the total is, which I think is going over pretty easily, there's no chalk in this game.
No. Are you picking one of the two backs here because they're both priced the exact same? You know, they're making them a pick 'em basically.
Yeah, I'm playing all the running backs. Monty, Gibbs, Eckler. I'm playing all those guys. I'm playing Keenan and Sun God and Laporta. Everyone in this game is live except for Quentin Johnston.
No, I'm also thinking Gerald Everett might be live as well. So I know
What has he
you
done,
don't like
though?
any of my takes. I don't know. I'm just telling you. That's the
Sam
thing.
Laporta, though.
Oh yeah, Sam Laporta for sure. I mean, that's a given.
That's so sexy. 5,700 and not too chalky.
It's projected
26 point ceiling. Oh my god,
that's crazy. Yeah, that makes it move.
Yeah, don't play Quentin Johnston because he's not there yet. He's still learning. And I actually met Quentin Johnston's sister, and she said that he just got an apartment in LA right before the season started. That dude hasn't even moved in yet.
Oh dear, that's not good. It is a little bit of an expensive stack.
Spend all the salary on this game. This game is going live.
Yeah,
I think this is going to hit 80 points. I think it's going to be 44, 41. It's going to go down to the wire because the Chargers will have a 10-point lead with 3 minutes left and somehow blow it. This is going to be a fun one. If you like points, Lions Chargers is going to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like points, right? I mean, that's what she said. Yeah. Okay.
This game's going way over.
Yeah. Any other stacks you want me to build here?
I like all the ones. Not the Brock Wright though. That's stupid.
No. I'm not doing that
one. Yeah, Keenan, Eckler, Monty, Gibbs, all the main guys.
I don't think we can do these. This is too many.
No, yeah, 5 wide. That's 6. 4 wide's pretty good. The 5 wide there that you have.
Yeah,
that middle one with or no, the one on the right.
This one right here.
Actually, never mind. That one's got Quentin in it.
Here, this one has Josh.
It's the one on the left there. Your 2% one, the first one.
I'll make it 3.
That's a great one.
Yeah. No, I don't dislike that one either. All right. One of the other games that's got a high total, one of the 3 top totals or 4 top totals. Washington visiting the Seattle Supersonics. Apparently they're back in business. Yeah, no, I know what I said, kids. Calm down. Sam Howell
had to be there. You had to be there.
You had to live through it. You had to watch Dikembe Mutombo writhing on the floor. So, but anyway,
Sean Kemp having 20 children.
That night was when he fathered most of the children. If you look back 9 months from that
the
day,
Rain Man.
Yeah, he was just like.
If she doesn't know who Detlef Schrempf is, she's too young for you, bro.
If you can't go into a haircuttery and go, give me a Detlef Schrempf, high and tight, if they don't know what to do, yeah. And then you want the flop. You want the flop too.
Oh yeah, the forward.
Oh yeah, it's like the mullet going forward.
That dude could ball too.
Mullet, So yeah, in this
Gary
game,
Payton, the glove man.
Gary Payton. Yeah, they took Jordan to 6 games.
Yeah,
so
Gary Payton locked Jordan down for a couple games.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was interesting. It was 3
then Scottie Pippen went off though. That was the trade off.
Oh yeah. All right, in this game, Sam Howell, Geno Smith. A lot of people are leaning Geno. You see the 13 to 4 ratio. Yeah, that's kind of intense. I don't like that. I like it in cash.
I don't like that at all. He's playing like garbage this year.
Yeah, that's not the best. In cash, I'll do something like Geno if I need to. But in this situation, I'm not loving this. What do you think about Sam Howell though? Are you teaming him up with McLaurin? Are you doing nothing? How are you seeing this game?
What are you talking about? I love Sam Howell. I play Sam Howell every week in season long in Dynasty. Sam Howell's my guy. Sam Howell's my QB1 of that class by a long shot. He was a full tier above everybody else. just because he went in the 5th round doesn't mean he's any less of a quarterback. It just means the league is dumb.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
it's already borne out in the truth because the top pick in that draft class was a guy named Kenny Pickett. Yeah. Sam Howell was a lot better than Kenny Pickett, and he went 4 rounds later.
Yeah, they're stupid.
So yeah, get me the Dotson.
I like
the
Dotson.
Super duper leverage problem solver money saver stack of Sam Howell and Jahan Dotson. No chalk, no salary, no problem. That's a skinny. Don't run it back unless you're going to throw in a little extra 4,100 JSN.
I'll do 2 runbacks because I actually do like DK Metcalf because I don't think anybody on Washington can body up to that man. And
no, he's a big beast.
He's just
a manly man.
Yeah,
he's going to eat candy all the way up to kickoff and then just torch him.
Oh yeah, he's going to do bad things to people. But I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, wait. Here we go. Oh, 1,500. You can get Njigba, Dotson, and Hal.
I love that stack. I love that stack. Yeah, look at that beautiful stack.
That's the sexy stack. Yeah, you can put a lot of other things together, which we're gonna do in a couple of minutes.
Oh, so sexy.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. All right. Last game of the year. I just want to say congratulations on winning the Super Bowl tomorrow. Because you are. You're winning the Super Bowl tomorrow. It's gonna look amazing. But in this game, it's going to be one-sided. This is just tell me my thoughts, and this is kind of how the first game went. Defense is going to be so darn right diabolical that they might steal the touchdowns, like Bland and others have been doing all year. So how do you kind of go into this and trust any of these players to live up to that? They don't need to play any of them. They go, hey, why aren't we just resting? We're going to play Super Bowl. We want Super Bowl. Why don't we play Rico Dowdle the whole game, right? Like, so I'm just saying, as a fantasy guy, I'm a little worried. I think Pollard, though, might be the only person I'm not worried about. Talk to me, tell me I'm okay. Tell me I'm
you play all of them with the expectation that shit happens every Sunday.
Right.
You play them with confidence, and if shit happens, shit happens. Don't get overexposed to anybody, regardless of what matchup they have.
Yeah,
it's only going to be so good or so bad. So play your CeeDee Lamb, play your Tony Pollard, play your Dak Prescott CeeDee Lamb stacks because they're still going to be viable. If they're going to win big, they're going to have to put up those points somehow. The defense, of course, is the top get at the top of the price board. I'm all over that. There's no reason.
Only 9%.
Keep your voice down. They're going to score 30 on DraftKings because Tommy DeVito still lives with his mommy.
Yeah, let's go back.
And he'll be crying for her when Micah Parsons is chasing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I hope that's what.
I never know what she's doing in there.
What's she been doing in there? Oh, I pulled it off of YouTube today. I said this is going to be a good one. So
anyway, Dallas, here's the 2 guys that will not come off the field if they're up big and could already have had a good play or 2 before they pulled the main guys. Rico Dowdle is live this week.
For
Jake
sure.
Ferguson is definitely live.
Yeah, Dowdle for sure. I mean, lock him up.
People don't know how good Rico Dowdle is. He's been hurt the last couple of years. And he's their swing back off Tony Pollard. And he's got some thunder. He's got some lightning. He's got some wiggle. He can catch. He can block. And up until this point, we've seen Tony Pollard carry a very heavy workload, which is uncharacteristic of what we've seen throughout his career until this year.
Right.
And I think they're going to start tapering that down as we get into these middle weeks of the season because they want him fresh for the playoff push. And if they keep running him 80% of the snaps, he's not going to be anywhere near as fresh as he would be. If they give Rico a little bit more run, instead of every 4 series, they give him every 3 or every other series this game because they're not going to need any help to beat the Giants. The Giants are pathetic, like one of the worst teams I've ever seen. And it does not help that their top 2 quarterbacks are both out.
No, not at all. All right, I had to get rid of some of these defenses because I don't want them sticking us with some of the trash defenses. I just prefer not to. All right, let's generate some lineups. Let's run some sims. We were kind of we're gonna run them. We're gonna manipulate them. Okay, here's one. I already like it. I'm already gonna pull my pants down and this is it. Sam Howell, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Trenton Irwin, who you hate. You can switch it to your guy. Deontay Johnson, Tank Dell, Trey McBride, CeeDee Lamb, Dallas defense.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
I've got another one for you. You can just change out
The one right
Irwin.
above it. The one right above it.
Baker, Christian, Bijan, DeAndre Hopkins, Irwin,
Yeah.
Mike Evans, Trey McBride, Tank Dell. Oh yeah, that's scary.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about
That
Kyler Bijan, Christian, Tank
Wilson.
Dell, Irwin Wilson, Logan? I don't like. CeeDee Lamb, Dallas defense. I like the CeeDee Lamb in the flex. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're big on Bijan and Christian. I like that. Irwin Bengals.
I like this Joe Mixon. This one looks good too. Maybe change Ayuk for Debo, get some more money and change Irwin for somebody. But you've got Trevor Lawrence, Joe Mixon, Bijan, Christian Kirk, Ayuk, CeeDee Lamb, Trey McBride, Bucks D. So I'm not a fan of that, but
yeah. Baker, Joe Mixon. They love Irwin, don't they?
Yeah, let's go limit Irwin because he's one of our most.
He's at 30%. Yeah, that's way too high.
Yeah,
put him at like 15. You want some Irwin, but you don't want that much.
They're all at 30 on their normal.
Yeah, we're getting too much of him.
Oh, way too much. You can't have that much domination. It just doesn't. It doesn't. In the balance of the
especially when by the time we kick off, he's gonna be ultra chalky.
Right. Too much. So, okay, here we go. Baker, Joe Mixon, Bijan, Christian Kirk, Tank Dell, DeAndre Hopkins, Trey McBride.
Oh my.
Dallas.
Oh my.
Winner, chicken dinner. I will play that.
Fantastic. That's fantastic.
That rolls off the fingers.
Let me save that real quick.
Don't you goddamn dare you. I put it up there. It's mine. I read it first. So must be mine, right? Ow, now you made me do it. I'll make it big so that people can see it over here.
You'll make it big, huh? Under that kind of pressure?
Yeah, I know. Here's one. I'm not sure about the Brandon Powell, but it's not terrible. Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Tank Dell, Brandon Powell, Deontay Johnson, Trey McBride, CeeDee Lamb. They love CeeDee Lamb. They're trying to get themselves some CeeDee Lamb for sure.
CeeDee Lamb's going to eat.
Yeah. No, they know.
Who's going to cover him?
Nobody.
And the last two teams they've played have had better defenses, and they couldn't cover him either.
Yeah. Sam Howell, Travis Etienne, Bijan, Tank Dell, CeeDee Lamb, Jahan Dotson, Trey McBride, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Okay,
yes.
Kids, I got to go and pull my pants down later and put these lineups in. I'm kidding. My pants will stay on. But
he's not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I know. I just want to make sure for the I did.
He goes to the Sunday brunch spots and misinterprets the bottomless mimosa sign.
Right. I mean, you should have bottomless mimosas. It's what it is. For some reason, mine didn't come through when I emailed myself, so I don't know what that's about. But I'll email mine while we hype up yours. Why don't you talk about? You kind of hinted at it earlier. Stack Debo and Purdy. Nice little pay down there for both of them. What do you think is going to happen with that? Because I hate you for that.
I'm just looking at points per dollar this week. It's a cash lineup through and through. And points per dollar wise, I like the leverage I get with Debo Samuel off of your Christian McCaffrey because they run very similar roles in the offense. I didn't know you were going to play McCaffrey, but I definitely knew I wanted Debo in his first game back at 6,200. It's about 1,000 less than it usually is. Purdy under 6K with his points per game and against a Jags defense that on the back end has struggled to slow down passing. I like that. Algier points per dollar, 4,700 for the amount of volume he's going to get in this game. Arthur Smith spelled it out for us, plain as day, inside the 10-yard line. He thinks Algier is good. He's not, but Arthur thinks he is. And against Arizona, he might be good in that role. Tony Pollard volume is there. He scored 28 fantasy points against the Giants in week 1, and that was a 40-0 game. So Tony Pollard's going to get his. I love Christian Kirk's matchup with the 49ers slot corner. St. Brown, the sun god. Are you kidding me?
He's going to crush this week. Look how big
getting chiggy with it at 3K against Tampa Bay, who's third last against tight ends. And then third last against wide receivers are the Washington Commanders, who I think that they're even worse in the slot because that's where they moved Emmanuel Forbes. And I know that Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to take Forbes' lunch money.
Oh, for sure.
4,100 for a guy who's really good at football. And of course, I had to have the Cowboys defense because they're going to score 30.
Yeah, I still am upset at you about all these. I think you are going to win this week. I'm
chomping at the bit. And I'm looking for a resounding, convincing win because not only do I want to get out of the 6-3 hole, I want to make a statement. I want you to quiver next week when I take my victory lap.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen at all. I'm a little scared, particularly now of the Debo.
You should be.
Yeah. I need. I got Pollard too, and you've got Algier, and we just basically are playing the same games against each other, and we're picking
in one match. Tony Pollard's our match.
Tony Pollard is our match, and I managed to get it to myself. It's refresh. Ooh, it came through twice. So here's my counter to what you're doing. I went Joe Burrow because I do think he's going to light it up in this match.
Your running backs are amazing.
Yeah, and I've got Pollard, which you have, but I've got Bijan, and so in that game, Algier and Bijan. That's what we're dueling banjos there, and then I've got Christian McCaffrey. Like that's the ace. It's Christian McCaffrey, right?
And we wonder why he couldn't afford the Cowboys defense.
I could not afford them. I got the Bengals D. I do have two players for
He's got the illustrious stack of Joe Burrow and Trenton Irwin.
I know, and then look at his hair; it's just so beautiful.
He's got brick hands Noah Brown in there.
I also have
Nuke. You know how much I love Nuke.
Nuke is good too. So
I've been a Nuke fan since day one, and I love that he's balling out.
What's your prediction? What's the over under in this? You by 10? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm gonna handicap at -10, but I think I'm gonna win 180 to 140.
Ooh, that's a good call. I like that. Excellent.
Because your running backs are gonna score 100 by themselves.
I think so too. I think it'll be a good game. I averaged it out to 150 for me. That's what I was trying to do, and I added up my projections. And so, hopefully that's what it is. And if not,
bring it. I think it's gonna be a high scoring week. A lot of these games need to be hit over if you're betting them. Because the lines are soft this week. I'm surprised. Last week it kind of scared people off because there was a lot of unders last week. I think that we're gonna flip the script on that. We're gonna get some fireworks as we start the back half of the season.
No, I like it. And speaking of fireworks, go follow us over at Chalk Block. This is how I used to have my house set up. I've got a new setup. Yeah. There's Bo McBrayer himself. There's me. Follow me, Nibble W Numbers. I don't drink anymore, but I got a picture up there making you think I do. It's all for the show. And then go follow Big Bo _ Big Time and get some Big Time flavor. I was already jumping the gun, Bo. Get bigtimeflavor.co to go get yourself some delicious hot sauce. Or some Smoke Shack barbecue rub. It's taco sizzin'. The Shelby Street Heat Nashville Hot Blend. That's one of my favorites. The Amigo. It goes fast. Mine's almost out, Bo. And the Big Time Flavor Bundle gets you everything for the 45.
But would you still say that it's a good value?
Oh, it's a fucking great value. And great Christmas present, too, or Hanukkah present, or Thanksgiving.
Kwanzaa. Joyous Kwanzaa.
Whatever. Somebody's boasting on
yes.
Let's check in to see. This is
we always say we are always the chalk blockers know that we love double tight lineups.
Oh yeah, we get hard for double tights. So, we'll see you guys next week on Chalk Block. This has been a Nimble W Numbers production. Go like us on YouTube and jingle the bell and all those good things, and let us know when you win. We'll see you guys next week.
Sub to the page, y'all.